My name is Lena Riemer. I'm an assistant professor at Central European University in the legal department. Climate change and human rights are fundamentally linked. In the past, we've looked at climate change only from an environmental angle. We realized that climate change is also an issue of social justice, of human rights, of responsibility of states. So this is where this conference comes in.
The important thing with today's event is that it brings in a comparative perspective and discussions from the inter-American human rights system, the European human rights system, and the African human rights system in conversation together to see what has happened and also what is possible, what is coming.
So I think it's really useful to gather together judges, practitioners, academics, and commentators to discuss and learn from each other and to see and understand each other's perspectives. The science is difficult and complicated, so courts have to grapple with that. And on a wider level, I would say it's a question of legitimacy. Should courts be dealing with climate change issues? They have to convince that they should be.
I really enjoyed today's event because it was a combination between practice and not only judges but also people from the registry, or basically kind of the bureaucracy behind the courts, and also people that were actively engaged in, for example, strategic litigation. I think it's really important that we are not just as academics, and I speak as an academic, not just listening to kind of the judges and what they think, but also try to listen to the people on the ground, on the forefront of all those discussions today.
The main focus is first to really dive into the question how climate change and human rights, like the right to health, the right to water, or even the right to move across borders, is affected by climate change.
Climate change is a global problem. Everybody is suffering in different ways, but also to discuss this and to address in a political kind of way, but also through legislation and policies, we need a global strategy to how to tackle this.
Indigenous people and local communities are at the center of the advisory opinion of the decision of the Inter-American Court. They have knowledge to prevent a climate crisis, to adopt measures, to create an answer on what measures has to be taken.
You know, in terms of the climate impact, people will say, how are communities affected? But who is in that community? Is everybody affected the same? No. So we have to see, for example, through a gender analysis, how are the women and girls affected? How is their sexual health and reproductive rights affected in the context of a climate crisis?
This was a very important opportunity to be very clear and speak loudly that there are people from all over the globe that are willing to defend the climate change fight.
Everybody was discussing the limitations, the potential challenges, the importance of discussing this problem not only in their own countries but at the international level to how to tackle that.
Obviously it's an amazing opportunity for students like me, young academics who try to understand the topic better and to learn from experts and practitioners, because it's not just that we learn about it and study it and read the text, but we actually get to hear from the experts themselves, and that is obviously a very great experience and amazing opportunity.
It's important also that we remain connected, you know, and the grassroots, the people that are actually doing the work in the community are connected. That way the impact, you know, it becomes possible.
So the first and most important outcome is really to create this forum for exchange, for learning from each other, and to plant a seed for future conversations, to recognize climate change as a core threat to all our human rights.